Alright, we're going on the assumption that you have some blocks made that are regions with holes taken out of them. So basically solid regions with voids in them, if you would. And I'm going to go ahead and go through all the way to starting the project. This is how to do things with sketchblocks. I'm going to hit next here. I'm going to go with this February 11th, I guess, truss. I'm beginning a project here. I'm finishing up my creation of it. It doesn't exist. You say yes. You say apply and done. Now you're going to go new and you're going to start with a standard part, and then quickly it's going to make an assembly once you do some things in here. So we're grabbing a February 11th truss. I'm starting a part here. I'm going to right away do file save as part 1. And then I'm going to insert a drawing that is an Autocad drawing with some blocks in it. So right away we're going to go ahead and file. We're going to save as, make sure we know where it's going. It's going here, that's right there, that's good. That's save as. Okay, it's saved as. What you got to do to bring in a drawing is you go and you double click on the part here. We're going to grab to the front of this, and what do? We're going to insert. I have to know where this is at, and this actually was out in my case I put it out in the Patak gusset. Probably a better thing to move that locally and put it close where you have. Bring that by. You're going to see it's going to bring in to the plane what you had drafted, and if this is confusing to you, just save your block, save your drawing without anything on the drafting plane. What you're bringing in is the sketch blocks here. You can't see it. I'm hitting finish here. It's bringing everything in. It's going to bring, and we have to make sure when we bring it in we say convert AutoCAD blocks to SketchUp blocks, or to inventor blocks. These are all sketch blocks, and you're going to see these sketch blocks are going to be incredibly important. I think it did it already. It didn't ask me the question, I guess, but I'm going to go ahead and right click. I'm going to get rid of all these things. Now you've got a blank plane. You can bring in, if you know I have a gusset here, I'm going to bring that in near the center. I'm going to bring in my member A. Bring it somewhat close. It doesn't need to be exactly right there. You're going to bring them close. I'm going to bring in my member B. I'm going to bring in my member C. I'm going to bring in my member D. And now we have what we are now at this point. We are in the kind of sketch mode, and if you notice in this mode we've got these sketch blocks, and in this mode is the mode that we can go ahead and get things lined up if we want. So you can do that by going to your constraints, and essentially by going to a constraint on that sketch block and tell it you want it to be constrained to this one there. It's going to pop it, and because we didn't lock one down or the other, it's going to move that thing there. I can go ahead and, if we look in this plus sketch block here, right, we're going to see that these, I'm going to be able to go now with here and say I'm going to grab from this one to put it there, and I'm going to grab from this one to put it there, and I'm going to grab from this one here to put it here. And I'm going to hit done. Now if you look within each of these here, if we look, we're kind of up with there, within there you've got these 4 sketches, and these sketch blocks are there, and you're going to see in a second you're in this mode. I'm hitting this double cent here. I'm in the sketch block. I'm going to finish the edit the block, and now I'm in the sketch, and the sketch is the point where in fact I could go about now. And if I notice here, you've got some kind of, you still got something that's a little off. So with here I could still tell it, for instance, I want this to be parallel. I want this to be parallel to that, and I think it might or might not have done it. It should have twisted some other things around. I'm going to hit it done, and we'll see whether it updates it. So we've got here this one here, and we want to move that to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try again. We're going to say parallel this one to that one, and it already exists. I'm going to say cancel. I'm not sure where that sketch here, this constraint is not coming in, but be that as it may, you're in this mode. You can go to Model, Inspect, but when you finish the sketch here, you go back to Model, and of course we lost our view here. We lost our environments view. We want to make sure that we do not lose the browser. And you're here within that, and you see that there. What we're looking for is the mode that you can create a part. So you're going to see Manage. You can author a component here, but more likely what you want to do is you want to go into here into the sketch mode. And in this sketch mode, you're going to finish the edit block, and you're here. In the sketch mode is the mode that you can then go about and do this. Manage, make components. So you are in the sketch mode, but not within the edit block mode. You're going to make components. So you're going to grab each of your components all the way across, and you see that they're making those 4 components, and you're going to say next, and you're going to say apply or OK, and hit what it is going to do. It has gone about and it's made, I believe. It has not done it because it did not. I need to hit apply, and you're right here. I guess it did do it. You hit the double click in here, and now you have in this assembly parts that are made. Now you can go about, and if you double click in any particular part, you can go there and hit F6, and in that part now, when you double click in it, you have the ability to extrude. I'll just do this 25 millimeters coming out. Profile here, click on that, coming out, hit OK, you're out of that one. Now you can double click. Again, you're in an assembly now. You've gone and got these individual parts there. You can either double click, or maybe, we did A, we can go to bring that back down, go back to here. You double click on the sketch. At this point you can extrude. This time, I'm sorry, you double click here, and you can right click, finish sketch. You're right there, and you should be able to extrude. This time you're going to go back into the ground, 25 millimeters. You select your profile, you hit OK, right click, finish edit, and you see now I kind of did this one different than the original one. So I'm going to go back here, back to member A, my extrusion there. If I look in my extrusion, basically I did my extrusion wrong, so we might be able to go here, and I don't know if I can delete the extrusion, but I can, which means I can now go back to here, once again extrude. This time I really wanted to go down 25 into the board, and now you see right click, finish edit, and I've got 2 of them that are kind of designed the same way, pushing down in. You can do that for each of your 4 going down, and then you can of course go to the gusset plate. Same thing here. You can actually go to the layout or the sketch if you would. You've got the sketch there, but you want to go to the sketch here, and you want to double click, and at that point you can extrude coming out 25 millimeters. Get your profile here, hit OK, and now you have, in effect, right click, finish edit. You do that all the way through, and in effect what you now have as you do this is you have then parts that are kind of tied to the sketch blocks, which in the end you can really go in and change. You can change back your sketch blocks, I do believe, but what you can do then is you get these parts, you can go to this part, and you can do things like make that part grounded and the other ones tied to it, etc. So as you go through here, right, you can see that that was grounded to one point, and that was grounded to one point, and these are grounded to one point, and these are grounded to 1 point. You might want to ground them to more points, but that ability to kind of go through and ground one particular thing and then tie something into it will pay off later. Okay, that's how you go about doing it. You now got a bunch of parts in your project which you can go back and work with individually. That's sketch blocks in 10 minutes if you've got blocks that are made from regions.